Let's go, fellas. Wake the fuck up over there. Thank you. What's going on? Anything? It's Wednesday. Just got done with the Glenn Beck show. Second appearance went great. That's why we're coming on 11:30, jam for time. And we ran with him right up to the hour here. So we appreciate your patience. And look at this. I just noticed these burns on my... This is from me cooking. Might as well be doing heroin. Those are burns from a stove, and I did them about a week apart. My wife's like, what are you fucking cooking? I'm like, my arm. Would you like it basted twice a week? Look, that's there forever, man. Look at that. Unbelievable. I reach in, fucking... It was making pizza. I had it at 600. My eyelashes came off, and now I got the forearms of Artie Lang. Anyways, what? Have you seen him lately? By the way, he looks great. There's a picture of him in rehab. My old buddy, hanging in there. I don't know how he's still alive. God bless him. He's never looked better. I mean, the nose is still fucked up. He's actually skinny. Has gray hair. He's got like a decent haircut. He's actually a good-looking guy. Which we fucking, God bless you, Artie. I hope it works out, man. And we'll pitch in. We'll do a GoFundMe for your nose or whatever the fuck. Or leave it. I think it adds character. That says Artie Lang. If I can, a Newark-type Jersey, working on the docks type of guy who's had a rough road, his own making, but still. And love him. I was so happy. I could not believe. Last time he looked that good was when we started the Nick and Artie show. He had just got out of rehab, and he had a tan and all this shit, and he had a human nose back then, but now he's got Bill Cosby, Nipsey Russell thing going on. But hang in there, Artie. Would love to have him on the show. Me and him have a chemistry that's frightening. Let's put it this way: we have a chemistry that costs us about $600,000 a year at DirecTV. God bless Patreon members coming at you live.
Okay. We'll do it live.
Okay.
We'll do it live. Fuck it.
Yeah, watch your mouth,
Do it
Bill.
live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Bill, watch your mouth, please.
I want all of you to enjoy your cake. So, enjoy.
What the hell's going on out here?
I'll tell you what's going on. What is going on out there? Oh, a little crackling. The New York Times fact checker used racist, homophobic slurs on Twitter. Can you imagine the fucking...
You fucking hypocrite.
The racist paper of record. The old gray lady's a fucking bigot. This is about the fifth person that got busted. These are the... God damn it, I'm getting angry already. Look at this. Sweating like AOC taking a U.S. history test. That was a fucking zinger. How this show isn't national. When I say national, I mean TV-wise. Fucking internet. People in Ireland watching this right now. He's laughing. It's true. We get people... Remember when we did the show from guys were calling from Ireland and England when we took calls, and it's unbelievable. Right now, there's a Taiwanese kid tied to a loom making sneakers watching my show. Deke, what the fuck you doing, pal? You get ADD, man. You're like Ryan.
I'm running the soundboard.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's fine. Leave it the fuck alone. You're distracting the shit out of me. I'll tell you when to touch the buttons. Jason, fucking headbutt him, will you? Deke comes in dressed like the fucking Unabomber today. Hood up, dark glasses on. You're that police sketch, and every time a white guy does something bad, that's under 30. Anyways, the New York Times, these racist, homophobic, fucking deplorable liberal twats, these are the people that tell you and I how racist and bigoted we are. Gina Chairless, guess what? Not chairless, like she doesn't have a chair to sit in. She's a black chick, though. So, there you go. Fucking nobody more racist and homophobic. Sorry. What do you mean by... You know what the fuck I mean by that. Who on her LinkedIn page describes herself as a researcher and fact checker for the New York Times opinion section. She appears to have deleted the offensive tweets on Tuesday, but some were still accessible on her Twitter account. But Newsmax host John Cardillo has posted it says hots, they mean shots, of tweets apparently from Chairless's account in which she used words like faggots and dykes. while also referring, I'm getting a little crackle every time I talk loud. Nice job, Dig. Referring disparagingly to Asians, Latinos, and white people. Breitbart News revealed in August that Times political editor Tom Wright Piersanti, Guinea, has a years-long history of anti-Semitic and racist comments on Twitter. Again, this is the New York Times that tells you how deplorable you are and what a bad person you are and how morally superior they are. I used to steal the New York Times when I was in New York. When I lived in an apartment building, I'd see all the people that had the Times in front of their apartment door. I'd take them, throw them in the trash if I was up early. I did. I'm not cheating. The Times has also faced criticism over its appointment of Sarah Zhang, cracked again, to its editorial board after it was revealed that Zhang has repeatedly made disparaging remarks about white people on social media. That's an Asian girl. How do you find an Asian racist? Congratulations. The New York Times is... Oh, I'm sorry. That was Shane Gillis. The New York Times is so obsessed with diversity, even when they have a bunch of racist work and they have an Asian woman, a black woman. Find a Native American that said Guinea and twat. Anyhow, some of Chairless's tweets apparently date as far back as 2011. Yeah, and she still has a job because, again, she's a black chick. In one screenshot, Chairless wrote, "Nah, too many dykes on my floor." She must have been traveling with the Tennessee basketball team in the WNBA. In another parent tweet, she wrote, "I know I'd rather that too, not faggots." What's SMH?
Shaking my head.
Shaking her fucking fat, ignorant, racist head. Can you imagine talking like that as a young black girl? How dare you, young lady? How dare you?
Make me a sandwich. Make me a fucking sandwich.
And don't put no pork on it. No. Take it easy. It sounded like Deke. Chairless appears to have used the term wetback in one tweet. She's bringing back fucking racism old school. Wetback. What is this, 1968 John Wayne film? I saw a couple wetbacks coming across the river. What? That was a good impression until I added Chinese to it. She also made disparaging remarks about white people. What black person hasn't? Some white people really just don't get it, she says. Yeah, we don't get it. Why don't you put on clips of Minneapolis where your people are beating the fucking shit out of any white person that's by themselves on a cell phone? Trying so hard to argue against something you just don't get. This is what you don't get, you racist little fucking hypocritical whore. You should be unemployed today. I hope she is. Let's follow that closely. We'll do a follow-up segment like O'Reilly. Right, Billy?
We'll do it live. Okay. We'll do it live.
Take it easy. Take it easy. She says some white people just in capital letters. I don't like her yelling at me.
Will you shut up? Will you please shut up?
Last black girl that yelled at me got a fillet of fish thrown at her head. Another tweet referring to white people was still accessible on her Twitter account late Tuesday. Chairless also appears to have frequently tweeted about Asians, including remarks about nail salons. She says, this is one of her tweets, "Say what you want, but I hate going to Asian nail salons. They feel fucking entitled and don't know anything but basic ghetto shit. They feel entitled? They're cleaning your filthy black toenails." Yeah, that's entitlement, you fucking... Let me tell you something, Chairless. Why don't you learn a work ethic from them? You sit at a paper and badmouth people on your computer, but they feel entitled. They only know basic ghetto shit. Yeah, they haven't taken that course at Yale in African American Studies. Too busy getting toe jam on a fucking Uncle Otis's feet. Fuck you and everything you stand for, pig. Hey, guess what? The spokesman for the Times didn't immediately respond to a request for comment. Here's a surprise, huh? Donald Trump Jr. reacted Tuesday on Twitter. He said, "Another day, another bigot exposed at the New York Times. Are they ever going to do anything to address the rampant hatred at their paper?" Amen, Donald Jr. You are right on the money. Fucking New York Times. A history of this shit. They put up anti-Semitic cartoons. Remember the one with Trump and Netanyahu had Trump on a leash, a big Star of David. Netanyahu had that big, that big I control the media nose. And it was more stereotypical than that fucking Indian on the Cleveland Indians hat, which they got rid of, which I loved, by the way. Should have put a bottle of whiskey next to everything. Got to go the other way with it. NFL, isn't there a new football league, the XFL? You got to go the other way with it. It's so PC right now, the NFL. You got to go the other way with it. Just offensive fucking dead Native Americans on the Redskin hell, Just fucking Columbus stepping on a fucking little Native American woman's throat with his boots. That's on the side of the helmet. People come out to see that shit. Who you playing? The Holocaust deniers. I got them minus the 3 against the Greasy Wops out of New York. That's how you got to go. By the way, can I do a little editorializing about football? It's been ruined on all levels now, even college. I was a big proponent, I've said this before on the show, of replay years ago. I said the only way they could fuck it up is if it takes too long, and they nailed it. But there's a flag on every play now. I agree with a buddy of mine. We both had this theory 10 years ago. You know when it started to get bad? When we started putting these fucking referees on camera. I'm telling you, some of them love to be on national TV. I'm fucking telling you. These guys get more airtime than fucking My Pillow guy. Hello, I'm Michael Lindell. I've seen some of these refs, they got their SAG card before I did. I'm in show business, for Christ's sake. Enough. There's too. I'm serious. Get rid of it, and get rid of it across all college, professional. I don't give a shit if a guy's knees down a cunt hair before the end zone. We have to spend 8 minutes to realize, oh, he was a cunt hair short, so they're going to run the ball up the middle and score. Enough already. They can't even they throw a flag and a minute. What do they do now? Back in the 70s and 80s, I don't want to romanticize the past, but there'd be a penalty. The ref would throw a flag and fucking immediately the broadcaster would say, the ref would signal. He didn't have a microphone. 2 seconds in, he'd go holding, Not anymore. The minute a flag is thrown, the UN congregates for 25 fucking... Seriously, a guy jumps off sides and they have to talk about it before they walk it up. You guys, you don't know this because you're young and it's not your fault. I happen to be in my late 90s. I've been watching this shit since 1968, literally 68. And I watched college football this weekend, and it's the same thing. It's even worse. And there's too many rules in football. If I see one more flag on a punt and they call a push in the back, I am going to stab somebody. Howard Cosell, the late, great Howard Cosell, actually brought this up in the 80s. He said, he was a brilliant guy. He was into numbers. He was a lawyer. 68% of the kick plays have a flag thrown on them. So Howard Cosell said in an article, that means the rule is defective. And it's only gotten worse. So Roger Goodell, listen to me, you dumb fuck. If you want to improve the game, allow one push in the back. The first guy got to get, allow one push in the back. Because obviously, I'm not going to get into football technicality. If ever you watch a punt return, the punt team, they form a picket line. So, and they've been doing this forever. That's never going to change. The only way to block for a punt, which, and so there's a flag. Get rid of that. What's the other 19 things he could do to improve the fucking game? I don't take the fucking refs off camera. And if I see, this is not the referees. If I see one more football player reach the ball out when he gets down to the 1 yard line. Again, something, the league's been around 100 years. Nobody did until, I don't know, about 10 years ago. It's the stupidest play in football. Do you guys know why? Do you know why it's the stupidest play in football? You're down, you're close enough to reach the goal. You might fumble, right? That's a big risk. Jason, learn a lesson. I can see he's doubt in his eyes. I got to use you as a punching bag, all right? Fucking learn the fucking... Jason just went... I never went down, Nick. Hey, I never went down. When you reach the ball out, you risk fumbling, you dumb fucks, as opposed to getting tackled on the 1 foot line. You're just going to punch it in on the next play. You don't see the Patriot. Well, you probably do. Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown actually farts now when somebody's chasing him down the field. There's a million things they could. Interference calls on pass interference. Now tell me how this is not the perfect. The outside of pass interference calls, right? What is the biggest penalty you can get? A 15-yard penalty, right? So why should a team get penalized 75 yards when somebody throws a fucking Hail Mary and they call interference? That is, I know why they do it. They want more scoring because the idiots in the crowd have 12 beers in them. They want to see touchdown. But here's my point. In college, it's a 15-yard penalty. You shouldn't get penalized 60 yards on a play. So how about this? You split the difference. Let's say the foul happened down on the 10-yard line. You know what I mean? Let's say it's a 60-yard penalty. Split the difference. Give the offense a 30-yard. Anything wrong with? How could that be more fair? Yeah, but if the guy didn't interfere, he would have caught it. Yeah, but we don't know half the time whether it's interference or not. Let the defensive backs play and bring back helmet to helmet. I want to see some guys in diapers in 10 years. Okay, Goodell, I'm trying to fucking help you here. I really am. But you guys have ruined. Even in college, there was a flag on every. There's too many rules in football. Do you know football has more rules than any North American sport? By far. Get rid of some. Allow the fucking hand in the face. You know, when the linemen get up in each other's face? That's fun. It's like watching a domestic squabble. It's two fat chicks two lesbians at a pool getting a fight. Nick, why'd you have to say that? Oh, apparently I'm on the internet. You can say shit like that. I look like a broadcaster, don't I, right now, with a fucking headset on? Oh, Keith Jackson. Oh, I tell you. How do you sum up a rivalry between Michigan and Ohio State? Well, it's about not liking somebody since about 1939. He was the best. Now all the pomp and circumstance has died down. It's time to play football. Touchdown, Heisman. Did I tell you I went on a voiceover audition in L.A.? It was my first voiceover audition. Who's coming out of the fucking audition room before me? Keith Jackson. Only a legend. He's in the Broadcast Hall of Fame when he was 11. And I look at the two people running the audition. I go, is that Keith Jackson? They go, yeah. And they didn't even know who he was. It was like two guys. Yes, it said Keith Jackson on his thing. I go, you guys have any idea? He's the golden voice of fucking, I got to follow this guy? Ay. Anyways, and then he had a stroke and I was belly laughing. What?
What the hell's going on out here?
No, I love him. Is he still alive? I don't even know. Google is evil is the headline here. You know, I talk about, you always hear from the left, they're worried about 2020. The big concern is outside interference with our elections, Russia and China and blah, blah, blah. When we all know, if there's any Chinese fucking with our elections, they're working at Google. Write that down. That's a good one, too. Deke, what was this one that you and I agreed I should put in my act? Taxpayers transition? Yeah, all right. Thanks for the help. Deke's got like 3 joints in his pocket.
I love you for helping me to construct of my life.
I send this to Deke every morning.
But a temple.
Yeah.
I love you because you have done so much to make me happy. You have done it without a word.
Without a do-rag.
Without a touch.
Without any
without
lube.
a sign. You have done it by just being yourself. Perhaps, after all, that is what love means. And that is why I love you.
A, she was a hooah. B, she was a hooah.
Google is evil is the headline. YouTube censors top Trump media outlets, singular, Right Side Broadcasting Network, known as RSBN. Google removed their live stream capabilities. This was back during the election, November 2nd, 2016, this just came out now. 1 week before the national election, Right Side Broadcasting Network confirmed they had their live stream disabled by YouTube after having their live stream camera sabotaged that morning. RSBN is a popular pro-Trump publisher that live streams Trump public appearances and rallies. Do you need any more evidence that I, honest to God, I don't know how Trump's going to win this, even though he should win it in a landslide, because all the morons out there get their news from the internet and whatnot, and it's we all do. You just have to be aware of shit like this, but you won't because you're watching Rachel Maddow and her giant Adam's apple and fucking Wolf Blitzer and all the other guzzlers of jizz. In February 2017, listen to this. This is fucking unbelievable. Oh, it makes me angry.
Your mom's a whore. Your mom's a whore.
In February 2017, Google, YouTube began censoring and preventing views to RSBN. The company's traffic lost up to 90%. Listen to this sentence. I'm reading from the article. The company's traffic lost up to 90% of its traffic. Thank you, fucking Rhonda Redundant. Go back to your JUCO college and fucking... Jason, aren't you appalled at this? You're a wordsmith.
Yeah, that was despicable.
It wasn't that fucking horrendous? Every day I read this stuff and it makes me sound more retarded than I really am. I don't appreciate it. In February 2018, RSBN report, Margaret Howell, she's a reporter, joined the Gateway pundit at the Newsmuseum. The News Museum. They kind of combine the words. In Washington, D.C. to discuss how tech giants such as Facebook, Google, and YouTube were taking direct orders from far-left groups like Media Matters to censor conservative voices. In multiple examples, Howell discussed how if you are branded as a conservative on social media, these companies will go as far as to remove live videos and videos with no actual political content because they want to prevent any potential message from getting through their gates. This is just, you guys should be irate at this. You know, I would be too, but I took like 3 dumps today. I'm exhausted. Ugh, that's gross. On Sunday, Right Side Broadcasting Network announced that after 300 million plus views of President Trump rallies in 4 years of following the rules on YouTube, their live streaming ability was taken away with no explanation. You believe that shit?
Fucking quiz!
So I don't want to hear you 2020 Democrat candidates. I don't want to hear any more about China and Russia influence in the upcoming election. I don't want to hear about voter suppression that doesn't fucking exist. I don't want to hear about Trump's lying and how he should be impeached. You work hand in hand with Google. They are just a propaganda arm for your shit corrupt party. So is NBC, CBS, all the mainstream media, and you still lost to Trump. Remember we did a story a couple weeks ago that a guy came out that used to work for Google, said, no, a guy named Epstein. He's under fire. He wrote a book about how corrupt it is. That he researches media bias. He wrote a book. It took him 10 years. Google gave Hilary anywhere from 2 million to 6 million votes, according to his... and she still lost because she's a thick-ankle dog face who's too lazy to get off her couch, and she's crying voter suppression. We got clips of her coming up, the fucking thick-ankle dog face. Fellas, what's going on over there? It's like fucking Chuck E. Cheese at the table today. Jason had the best day of his career, and I look over him after the Glenn Beck thing, and he's sitting there with a fucking stunned look on his face, like even he was surprised. It's been a bad day. I fired my life coach. He's like 40 games under 500. That's such a fucking great job. And what else? And I dropped my iPad coming out of the house today. Pretty sure I knew it wasn't going to work. It bounced like up over my head off the cement. And so I get here, and, you know, I turn it on, and it's just fucking zigzags and black lines. And there was actually a still picture of Ted Kennedy on it. So maybe that's Apple's way of telling me it was dead, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, somebody dropped me on my head there. I remember a red doa and a gold toilet. I have no red doa, and you're the man who shit in my tuba. A man goes to a party, loses his wallet at the party, returns there to claim it. Dana Gould, that's one of my favorite bits of all time, brother. Anyways, let's go right into I'm going to segue, right? This actually, once in a while, this happens by accident on the show. We talk about something that leads into the next story. But, them censoring this Trump network that was so pro-Trump, and Hillary's still out there. Even after all that, this thick-ankle dog face who lives on heavy cream and lasagna, she's still complaining about losing to fucking Donald Trump. I'm going to leave that on to bug people. Crooked loser gives counseling to Democrat candidates. Hillary Clinton is still complaining about losing the 2016 election and still blaming everything on everybody but herself. Oh, even I can't handle that. Just for a second, I was stuck in seat 33A on Delta. In an appearance at George Washington University, Hillary decided to reel off a list of reasons she lost to Trump, including voter suppression, hacking, fake news, and lack of election security. What? Can you imagine? She doesn't blame herself laying on the couch, touching her giant clam as she's eating fucking Cool Ranch Doritos, and Trump's in Wisconsin whipping her fucking wrinkled ass. Here's the video of this fucking lying, entitled. Ever think about how ironic it is she calls white people privileged and entitled? Has there ever been a better example than Hillary Clinton of white entitlement? And because she has a vagina, the shit she gets away with. This twat should be in jail for the next 40 years if Devin Nunes gets his homework done. Here she is still complaining.
Let me tell you what I think the biggest obstacle might very well turn out to be, and that is this.
That the Democrat candidates are taking advice from you, you fucking two-time loser. Look, she has the testicles of 6 black men around her neck. That's a nice curtain. What is she doing, a set at fucking Fuddruckers? Fucking slob. Go ahead.
You can run the best campaign. You can have the best plans.
Pause. She's talking about herself right now. She's talking about herself. Go ahead.
You can get the nomination. You can win the popular vote. And you can lose the Electoral College and therefore the election.
A, she was a hooah. B, she was a hooah.
She claims voter suppression. Did she mention that? I gave you a whole clip there, fellow.
These 4 reasons. Number 1, voter suppression.
Pause. Voter suppression. Really? She won the popular vote. So how can you claim voter suppression? She won the popular vote. So that goes against everything. By the way, your neck looks like fucking Reagan's testicles. Go ahead.
We saw what happened in Georgia, where Stacey Abrams should be governor of that state.
Pause. This I did not give you this, but this is fine. I don't know what you pull this, Jason. That's all right. You know what? You came through on the Beck show. I don't care if you're shitting the bed on this one. Look at this. This is her scene with a defensive end for the Atlanta Falcons. Stacey Abrams runs a 4.540. Go ahead, Deke.
How is Stacey Abrams so relevant? She lost.
Yeah. You know why she's still relevant? She's claiming she didn't lose, even though we have. This is what I'm talking about. It's like fighting with fucking children. That's a great. How is she still relevant? Why? Because the mainstream media is her mouthpiece, like any other. She's female and she's black, so they're going to keep pushing the narrative that somehow she got ripped off, which everybody knows is not true. She should be fucking working at the TSA, fondling my nuts when I'm trying to get to New Mexico. No, you're absolutely right. Just sickening. Go ahead, Jace. I don't even know what I'm watching here, but
Registered voters were kept off the rolls. Their registrations just piled up in some back office.
Bill
with
was kept
no
off your rolls
intention
after you
to
gained
ever
100
enroll
pounds, you
them
fat
so
fuck.
that they could actually vote.
that's a lie. You're
We
a
also-
lying whore. Go ahead.
Saw what happened in 2016. Experts estimate that anywhere from 27,000 to 200,000 Wisconsin citizen voters, predominantly in Milwaukee, were turned away from the polls.
Pause. Where's the proof of that? Number one. Number two, how about the guy that wrote the book about Google claiming that they gave you anywhere from 2 to 6 million votes? Where's that? Fuck that. How about I hate to go back to ancient history, your server and doing business on a private fucking server? Why aren't you in jail is the question. Ask not what this fat pig can do for you. Go ahead.
That's a lot of potential voters.
Oh, my God.
They showed up.
Oh, she's shameless.
But maybe they didn't have the correct form of identification. Maybe the name on their driver's license included a middle name or an initial that wasn't on their voter registration. But officials made every excuse in the book
Oh, my God.
to prevent certain people from voting in that election.
No, I can't take it anymore. I can't.
She's a malignant cunt.
What's that, Paulie?
She's a malignant cunt.
I didn't hear you. What?
She's a malignant cunt.
Who? Hilary? What did you call her?
She's a malignant cunt.
Oh, okay. Rich?
If she is out there trying to give counseling or whatever to these other candidates that are out there, and she feels that she's been foiled in the election, why isn't she running again? I mean, why, if she's the big winner and the clear winner, it should be an easy win over Trump. Why is she out there not running?
I'd like to know where you got that question. Very good. No, here's the thing. Here's the thing, Rich, and it's a good question, and she probably is going to run again. They're going to watch these fucking far-right. I'm telling you. We haven't. I've made this prediction. I've said this before. We don't know who the Democrat, the 10 that are running right now. I believe none of them are going to be the nominee. Thick ankle dogface might jump in, or somebody that we don't even know exists right now. I'm guessing a trans Native American woman with one artificial tit and a record of.
I mean, I'd be scared shitless to go up against Trump after watching his rallies. I mean, none of these people get his numbers. So,
excuse me, I guess you didn't read the news. Liz Warren got 20,000 in New York.
20,000 to 100 or to 60,000. I mean,
no. What do you 60,000? First of all, Trump. I know he's got the million people outside, which I love. I wish I could say that once at my show. We had to put screens outside at shit flickers. So many people couldn't get in to see me. Yeah. But all that's going to be a moot point if Google continues to control, you know. We're at a frightening time, man. And Trump is the last man standing, you know. Can you imagine Liz Warren? She said she had 15,000 in New York. In Washington Square Park. That is right where the Comedy Cellar is and where everybody buys their weed. And if you're a fucking socialist and you can't get 15,000 Washington Square Park, you can't get it anywhere. The statues of Che Guevara, for Christ's sake, in the background. So Trump's saying, I love it, Trump's giving them a little, he said, no way there was 15,000 there. And if there was, of course, he goes, it's New York City. He's right. I think you can get 1,000 people into a Pizza Hut in New York City by accident. That's how densely populated it is. Can you imagine all those hippie fucking unwashed pigs going out to see her talk, the titless wonder? And I hate Washington Square Park. If you guys have never been there, let me give you a little. It's a type of place where you'll see like a 40-year-old guy on a skateboard with a Hello Kitty book bag and thinking he's being fucking, contrarian.
Beto O'Rourke was there?
Beto O'Rourke. I know, that's exactly who came to mind, huh? That fucking, wouldn't you love to hear he fell off that and fractured his skull? In the next debate, they have to put a ramp up for him. He has to use one of those straws to get on. Now he can't do this shit every time he talks. It's like he's got a pogo stick up his ass every time he talks. You could follow him when he does a speech. You could use him as an exercise tape, like fucking Tony Horton. Gee, you look slim, Bill. I dropped 20 pounds. What'd you do? Fucking Nutri-Slim? No. I followed Beto for 2 weeks on TV. And anyways, what else do I want to say about this? That's about it. She's still out there. Clinton also reeled off the usual claptrap about phony, false online stories costing her the election and claimed that Trump is still spreading fake endorsements and outright lies. Can you imagine Hillary calling somebody a liar? God damn you. In reality, studies found that fake stories on Facebook were microscopic in their real reach, with some actually working to the benefit of the thick-ankle dogface herself. The thick-ankle dogface still warned, however, that Russians are coming to meddle in the election. Oh, my aching stem. She says, we have a fundamental set of threats to the bedrock of our democracy, and anyone who stands in the way of confronting those threats is abdicating their responsibility to protect and defend the Constitution, which I used to wipe my ass with daily. Ookie. She says, I was the first person who ran for president in more than 50 years without the protection of the Voting Rights Act. She's coming up with new ones now. She's coming up with new ones.
And you blew it! You blew it. You can't handle the truth.
Listen to this pack of fucking lies. This one, and let me just say, she says, it makes a difference. We saw it once again in 2018, a case study in voter suppression. Let me ask you guys, did you hear millions of people complaining that they were turned away or their votes were suppressed? Or did the right-wing media hide that? Voters faced intimidation. Yes, they did. I remember white guys going to Philadelphia in a primary and 3 Black Panthers with clubs in their hands. You're right, Hilary. I do remember that case. Voters faced intimidation and harassment. Voter ID requirements amounted to a modern-day poll tax. Oh, my aching fucking stem. Voter ID requirements made up for the purpose of prevention of certain people to cast a vote that would be counted. There were fewer voting places, longer lines, and malfunctioning equipment in certain places. Yeah, the DNC headquarters. You dumb cunt. Oh. Sorry. I said I hated Pete Buttigieg and Beto O'Rourke. She just reclaimed first place. Look at that look on her face. She just spotted a pink dildo in somebody's purse. Hillary, here's what I feel about your feelings.
I wet my ass with your feelings.
Thanks. Thanks, Yahuwah.
A, she was a hooah. B, she was a hooah.
What do we got going on here? Burger King removes ham from the word hamburger to avoid offending Muslims. It's happening in South Africa right now, but their headquarters are in Miami, so it's coming here. If it happened there, it's going to come here. And as most of you know, ham has nothing to do with pork. Hamburger patties were invented in Hamburg, Germany. Oh, my aching stem. The double spicy hamburger will now become just a double spicy burger, while the triple hamburger with cheese becomes the triple burger with cheese. And a Hamburger King Jr. will become the Muhammad Atahanga. Allah! God is great. So are our curly fries. On the children's menu, it will now be just a kid's burger. The company whose headquarters are in Miami, which is they're surrounded by Jewish people. You don't hear Jewish people complain. Last time I checked, Jews weren't big on. When's the last time you saw a Hasidic Jew climbing through the window of McDonald's at midnight because somebody forgot his McRib sandwich? Laugh into the mic. Don't lean away, Rich. I need your help. Please, make it sound like the place is packed. Can you believe this? Company's headquarters in Miami said the word was being eliminated in order to be more respectful of Muslim cause. Yes, all 7 of them. What next? You're going to have fucking foot baths next to the soda machines and going to use the loudspeakers outside of Burger King for prayer speak. Try a double lamb fucking Whopper. Order 3, get a prayer rug. I hope this doesn't hurt their profits.
All Burger Kings must face east.
All Burger Kings must face it. You know, you might not know this. The Burger King chicken nuggets, if you let those sit around for a month, you can stone a homosexual to death with them. The change is being made despite the fact that ham in Hamburg had nothing to do. However, the company admitted that its outlets in South Africa would be losing their halal certification because of popular demand. That's restaurants have that. You'll see it in New York. It's a halal, which means it's, all right for them to. They can't eat pork. It's the other white meat that Muslims hate. Nick, you are brilliant. I know that. So, they hate pork. They hate pigs.
Well, Tony, what about the 1,000 other fucking pigs you had your dick in over the years?
What about them, Carmela? Enjoyed it. Speaking of dicks. Speaking of dicks, good friend of mine, Dick Wood. Senator, I worked with Richard Wood. Richard Wood was a friend of mine. You, Senator, are no Dick Wood.
I love you for helping me to construct of my life, not a tavern.
This is what Senator Mike Fulmer, who was busted for child porn, used to play when he had kids over.
I love you because you have done so much to make me happy.
With your little pink ass and your bag of fun-sized Snickers. Pennsylvania state senator was busted Tuesday on child porn charges, the state attorney general announced.
No!
Oh, yeah. Yes. Republican Senator Mike Fulmer. Oh, the libs are going to have a day with it. That's him? Guy looks like fucking Iran's defense minister. Here he is showing a 12-year-old boy just how big his cock is. Republican Senator Mike Fulmer was charged with sexual abuse of children, possession of child pornography, and criminal use of a communication facility after law enforcement found images of child pornography on Fulmer's cell phone when they executed a search warrant at his Lebanon home. Unbelievable. Officials said an investigation into the matter began after authorities received a tip that a user of the microblogging site Tumblr uploaded an image of child pornography to the site. The investigation led officials to Fulmer's home. This defendant serves as a state senator and was entrusted to honor and represent his community in the Pennsylvania Capitol, said the Attorney General Josh Shapiro as he was biting into a McRib sandwich. Good. Announcing charges against Fulmer. I will continue to say it. No one is above the law, no matter what position of power they hold. Fulmer, who was elected to the Pennsylvania Senate in 2006, was reelected to his 4th term last November. Apparently, he had the Boy Scout vote locked down. The lawmaker played a key role in the passage of a bill that legalized medical marijuana in the state. Now we know how he got the kids into the house. Try these brownies, Jimmy. They're yummy, dummy, yummy. Fulmer did not immediately return a request for comment. He couldn't. He didn't want to wake the fucking 12-year-old boy next to him. Meanwhile, state Senate leadership spoke out on the arrest and said that Fulmer would immediately be removed as the chair of the Senate state government. Oh, that's too bad, huh? Senate Pro Tempore Joe Scarnati and Senate Majority Leader Jake Corman said, "We're shocked to learn tonight of the allegations. made against Senator Farmer. We found it strange he was in a Speedo on a lot of the votes on the floor. We will fully cooperate with law enforcement regarding this deeply disturbing matter. Given the severity of the charges, Farmer is immediately being removed as chair of the Senate State Government Committee. Piece of garbage. Piece of human garbage. We're rotting from the inside out, folks. That's just another sign. Since I started the show, how many have we done like that? We are just, you got Anthony Weiner's out there. This is people who are making the, remember, what was the name? Denny Hastert? Yeah, wasn't he a House Speaker or whatever the fuck? He was a wrestling coach. That's the first red flag. And then you had that guy that used to meet guys, what was his name, Foley? The guy that used to meet in the men's room, and they would touch each other's shoes to, it was a gay fucking hangout at Minneapolis airport and shit. You look in there, see a pair of wingtips upside down, some grunting going on. Either somebody's getting laid or this guy is constipated. What's he doing a headstand for? Tremendous. It's a sick news out there. And more evidence that we're rotting at the seams. Here's a headline for you. Woman survives after being shot in her vagina 4 times by her wife. That's some tough pussy there. This broad has Kevlar lips. She got a Kevlar cunt up in there. Shot 4 times in the snatch.
Delicious.
Thank you.
Thank you. Here's the story. I think we have the news clip, right, Jace?
Emptied the whole clip inside my body.
It was Monday morning. Wallace had just confronted her wife of 12 years.
I was telling her that we need to get a divorce because I can handle a lot of things, but I cannot handle infidelity.
In her anger, Wallace admits she threatened to do.
She can't handle infidelity. That's where she draws the line. She doesn't mind some hollow point bullets in her uterus. I can't stand the cheating. I don't mind the rifle in my snatch. Go ahead.
The same to her own wife.
It made me uncomfortable at home. Don't be surprised if I have another female in here. And I don't know why I said that. She was just like, you want to play with me? You want to play with me? And she pulled the gun out, looked me in my eyes, and she started shooting me.
But she never expected what would happen next.
Is that where her eyes are?
She shot me 4 times in my vagina, 4 times in my leg, 3 times in my stomach.
Wallace says her wife just snapped.
I'm like, okay, I hear you. I'm not going to do it.
Pause. This is after she shot in the vagina 4 times. She goes, okay, I get the point. What is this, the toughest woman ever? What the Oh, my God. Can't wait till she goes to the OGBYN for the next visit. Everything look good down there? Well, yeah, other than the 4 shell casings. Jesus Christ. Shot in the vagina. I got hit in the balls with a fucking tennis ball. I almost fainted.
Oh, my God, I hope you recover there, Aisha.
They'll get back together. Those people are wild. Some wild people out there. Now, go ahead, Jason.
And she kept going.
Somehow, Wallace remained conscious and willed her way.
Thanks for
out
the
of her
shot of the
house.
steps.
I had to gather up as much strength as I could. Get down my stairs and get outside because the neighbors had heard it. So as soon as I opened up the door, there was already people out there. Like, can y'all please call the police?
When the suspect was arrested, police say she claims the shooting was done in self-defense. Wallace says this was attempted murder.
She wanted me to die because she has always felt like if she can't have me, no one can have me.
All right, it's enough.
Well, Tony, what about the 1,000 other fucking pigs you had your dick in over the years?
And your gun. At least she has a nice house to fucking relax and recover. Riverview, you know, it's funny. That's the street I grew up on. Fucking Riverview. How are you alive when you get shot? I really don't understand that. That's a tough broad. She said it was self-defense. You know, the lady who did the shooting said it was self-defense. I guess this woman was coming at her her taint with a bayonet. Go ahead, Deaky.
I'm just thinking her firing that many because that's 11 shots. She said 4 in the snatch, 4 in the leg, and 3 somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah, I sound like a corner.
That's why they should have limits on these magazines.
But
we all know a pussy can only hold about 6 bullets before it gives way.
If she's emptying a magazine, though, that's something you would do in fear, as if it was self-defense.
Yeah.
Or she just...
Well, I'm not saying she's wrong, the lady who shot the lady in pussy. She might have a good point. Let's end this with one more quickie. This one. Why is that funny? I don't even get it. What did I say? I'm punchy. What?
Depends on what the next story is.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think you'll enjoy this one. Teen, that's a teenager, admits to serving teacher semen-tainted crepe in cooking class. Oh, I wanted to hit my Bon Appetit button. I didn't have time to load it. But I can hit this.
Delicious.
Thank you.
Thank you. An Ohio teen was sentenced to jail time after he admitted to serving a teacher a semen-tainted crepe as part of a sick joke during a cooking competition at his middle school. The 15-year-old admitted to bringing in a bag of his semen and dumping it on the French dessert. It does give it a little tang. I am never going to eat a fucking glazed anything again. Before serving to his teacher at Olentangy. Oh my God, that's this Olentangy. It's got the word tangy in it. Can you make this shit up? Hyatt's Middle School. Here's the story. I think we got some footage.
Students tainted the teacher's food with semen and urine. On the video, students are heard whispering and giggling as a boy pours liquid from a plastic bag onto food.
Oh my God. You're gonna taste it. You're gonna taste it. It smells horrible, dude.
The camera then turns to show teachers unknowingly eating tainted food while good-naturedly quizzing the students about their dishes.
Is this made with goat milk?
Is it fresh squeezed cow's milk? Not even gonna lie, it tastes really good.
Is this an SNL sketch? If you were writing a sketch about secretly putting semen on a dessert and having somebody eat it, those are the terms you'd use. Is this goat's milk? I mean, that's fucking precious. And then to have the male teacher go, it tastes really good. This is You can't write this stuff, folks. And why would you want to, unless you're Senator Fulmer? Go ahead, stupid. Take the fun out of this story. Go ahead.
It gives a new meaning to Bon Appetit.
Yeah, C-. Not bad. For you, that fucking, that's like an A. Bon Appetit. Oh, goodness. Is this goat's milk? Yes, it has a certain tag to it. The lady's like, I've tasted this before. Where have I had that? Holy shit, I blew my husband before I came to school. Anyways, the kid won first prize, and Burger King is going to put it on the menu in place of anything. Anyways, he was sentenced to 30 days in a detention center, and now there's a statue of him being built by other students in order to complete community service. 7 other students who were not publicly identified are also accused of assault and other crimes for their roles in disgusting pranks. One other student facing charges allegedly soaked barbecue sauce with his urine. Jesus fucking Christ. We have a whole... I think I know the next mass school shooting is going to happen. Why'd you do it? Because Billy brought me some fucking semen-covered onions. Accused of assault, other crimes for their roles into... Yeah, kid put urine in his barbecue sauce, gave it to 4 unsuspecting teachers. You can get that now at any Publix. Paul's Pee-Pee and Spice. Video obtained by WBNS shows one of the students. We already did that, and that's enough. I can't take it. That's horrible, because if they'll do that, they'll, fucking next thing you know, it's ricin. What has happened? Honestly, the people said that this society would be, we're going to go morally bankrupt. We have to be. We have to be there. Are we not? I didn't even show this week, folks, the racial attacks in Minneapolis, roving packs of young black kids just singling out like white people and beating them unconscious and taking their phone. There was a fight at a mall. This involved some black kids. One black kid knocks his other kid out. He's laying face down. Had you seen this one yet? It disturbed me, and I've watched a ton of this shit. Kid's face down, unconscious. Some black kid comes running up and stomps on the back of his head. This kid has to be paralyzed or dead. I couldn't even. And then you had the white guy that was surrounded the other day in Minneapolis with, he's sitting around with like 6 black guys. They turn on him, knock him unconscious, pull his pants off, take his phones, right over him with a bicycle. I couldn't even, I usually show shit like this, but it was like too fucking disturbing. But it's scary because the cops have their hands. Minneapolis has a shortage of cops. And it is really frightening. But this didn't happen until Trump came along, Anyways, that is it. Thank you guys for being patient. We came on late, but because of the great Glenn Beck, who had me on again. And we're going to be hopefully doing that one, every Wednesday with Glenn. And he has a huge following. We're trying to grow this show, and that is a key element to growing it. And I appreciate him taking the time to do that. You guys for waiting. And Jason and you guys, Jason did a great job today. A lot of pressure on the young Jason. He got 2 messages from me and another guy going, listen, he fucked this up today, and I'll help you pack your bags. But we didn't mean that. We just say it brings the best out of him. He loves this type of pressure. He's like Tom Brady. He thrives on this shit. Although I did see him crying in the men's room 4 minutes before the show. Remember, you guys think it, I will say it. You're very welcome. Go to nickdip.com. Look at my live tour dates. See you tomorrow.